One other person that really deserves a lot of credit for what is happening in a positive light at the R&E centers is Gary Moss. He's our interim research leader for the research and extension centers, and he worked quite closely with Ron on developing the original set of research priorities, and then his work with Larry and Jim and others that may be in the audience on further refinements of those research priorities. So in case you're wondering what those research priorities are, in the appendix of your field-based bulletin, there's a whole list of those production ag research priorities. Along with that, what you'll notice in this year's field-based bulletin is we've done a couple of things that are a little different. For projects that are just barely beginning, that are being conducted at the different centers, we have a one-page, well, it's a half-page summary and description of that project. Just basically gives an overview. Here's kind of what the project's about and why it's important. And then in addition to that, we have a typical two-page format, and that two-page format is supposed to be written in a manner that is a simple summary. I need to make sure that everybody is aware that this document is not intended to be a full description of all the research projects that we are working on, and the summaries are not by any means meant to give the full description of the project. For full descriptions of the projects, we make sure that the contact information for the researcher responsible for the project is included in there, and they'd be more than happy to provide additional information. One other thing that is new this year is at the end of every one of those articles, regardless if it's a short format or the long format, there's a number that's indicated, and I believe it is listed as a part, semicolon, or a colon, and then a number. Those numbers tie back to those production ag research priorities that are in the appendices. So what we're trying to do is ask our investigators to begin to demonstrate how their projects are relating to the research needs that we're hearing from our ag producer community. And that's just a simple first step. We're taking other steps. So next year, we'll be able to illustrate a little more about how we are addressing those beyond what the Dean had mentioned regarding taking some of our federal dollars, setting those aside, and matching the Department of Ag's research program dollars. Jim, I really don't have much else to say. I'd be happy to take a question if anybody has a question regarding what I've mentioned, or if you'd like further information about some of the items that either the Dean discussed or I discussed. But I'm sure that you didn't come here to listen to the Dean and I talk. You're more here for what is going to be presented. And so I'm going to turn it back over to Jim unless there's a question.